evening. Today is November 19th, and this is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topic is the CTI TV news to be shut down. First, CTI TV News is considered as a pro-China media after the expiration of its 6 years license. Its license renewal was denied by the NCC. We know that NCC is an independent organization that regulates the TV and broadcast in Taiwan. It is National Communications Commission. And this is the first time in Taiwan that a news station had to be shut down because it failed to renew its license. This incident also involved with the China factor. Why? Because Chairman蔡衍明not only owns CTI TV, but also has investments in China. And the problem is China involved in the operation of CTI News through the Wang Chairman蔡衍明? I think the 7 members of NCC do think so, because they unanimously denied to renew its license, and the votes are 7-0. Actually, this incident also involves the triangular relationship between the KMT, DPP, and the Chinese Communist Party. Here are some points. First, let's look at the latest development of the U.S. presidential election. It has been 16 days since the voting. Donald Trump seeks to recount the ballots in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Dane counties. However, I really don't think it is going to change the result. As to the F-16 incident, we know that the latest development is that a signal from the FDR flight data recorder of the missing F-16 was detected, and it is about 9 nautical miles of Hualien. We can see over here, this we're going to see whether we can find over here the F-16. And actually now, what they're doing, the Audrey's survey vessel was here, and actually it has been here since this morning, like around 11 a.m. And the Colonel Zhang's wife and mother also took the helicopter there to call for his name. Other than that, Minister of Defense Yan Defa went to the presidential office this morning to report the latest situation to President Tsai. Let's look at the shutdown of CTI TV News. A. There are 2 major reasons for the CTI News to fail to renew its license. First, about the reason is the interference of a major shareholder. Who is the major shareholder? NCC refer the current Wang Chairman蔡衍明. Well, we can see over here, this is Chairman Tsai. Well, what NCC say is蔡衍明directly and indirectly interfere in the situation about the operations of the news production. And second reason is that CTI News has a violation most and was fined around 10.73 million NT dollars. As to蔡衍明latest response, he said this is a political manipulation and he will file a lawsuit against it. B. What does this incident have to do with the CCP? We know that because蔡衍明has large amount of investment in China, and he also advocates the idea of a one China principle, and Taiwanese are Chinese. Therefore, CTI TV News is also considered as a pro-China media in Taiwan. And it was even criticized by some Taiwanese people as being a branch of Chinese CCTV in Taiwan. Well, even the founder of Foxconn, Terry Guo Taiming, once slammed. He said that Tsai is the pawn of the Chinese Taiwan Affairs Office of the State Council, Guo Taiban. C. What does it have to do with the KMT? Because CTI TV News supported the KMT 22,000 presidential candidate Han Kuo-yu. We know that Han Kuo-yu was the former Kaohsiung mayor, right, and was recalled. So the KMT shows their support for CTI TV News and asked the people to go on the street and protest it. However, I don't think these will change the result. Actually, there was a protest against CTI TV News in 2019. The anti-red media protest, 反红媒游行, around 100,000 Taiwanese people call for rejections of the Chinese interference in Taiwan media. And this is the protest. D. As for the issue of press freedom, CTI News criticized NCC for violating freedom of the press. I do agree that freedom of the press is very important. However, there's a limitation for any freedom. what is freedom means. Is there about the freedom of the press that has been influenced by political involvement still considered as freedom of the press? That is something to think about. Here are the top stories. Today, we have 2 confirmed cases. They are all imported cases. They came from Turkey and Indonesia. First, I want to talk about the President Tsai and President Xi. When President Tsai visited the United States, Senator Pat Toomey urges U.S. to invite President to White House. We can see over here, Senator Pat Toomey spoke at an online conference hosted by U.S. think tank, the Heritage Foundation, yesterday. And he said, Taiwan stands on the front line against Beijing. Washington should ramp up its support for Taiwan by confronting the international organizations that exclude the country. We know that President Tsai talked on the phone with the pro-Taiwan U.S. chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Aled Igno, on November 16th. And she said that, I look forward to seeing you again, whether it will be in Taiwan or in New York. So is there any possibility that President Tsai might visit the U.S.? MOFA spokesperson said that there is no plan for that at this moment. As for President Xi, well, we know that tomorrow is the APEC summit. U.S. President Donald Trump, Taiwan TSMC founder Morris Chang, and China President Xi Jinping will participate in a meeting. Well, China President Xi talked about a dialogue today with the APEC CEO, and he said that China pledged to open up its supersized economy. And he said, we will not reverse course or run against historical trend by decoupling or forming a small circle to keep others out. Well, openness enables a country to move forward while exclusion holds it back. Well, isn't it ironic? He just said, I don't want to keep anybody out. But actually, China has kept Taiwan out from WHO, from United Nations, and even President Tsai couldn't participate in the APEC summit. As to the CTI TV news case, Wang chairman strongly rebut NCC, and he said that the rejection of license renewal of CTI TV news is completely political manipulations. But we're talking about the DPP just kind of rebutted back. The DPP legislator Lin Junxian fought back and said freedom of speech is not a fig leaf for violating the regulations of NCC rules. Well, actually, the Military Review published an article in its September edition with the title, How to Counter China's Disinformation. We're talking about that. This disinformation is said Wang's China subsidiaries receive $2.9 billion NT of incentive from the PRC government between January 2017 and March 2018. Of course, I have to emphasize that Wang is not the only Taiwan company that get the incentive from China government. However, the PRC had made even more direct investment by buying the social media accounts of Taiwan politicians and social media influencers. And we can see over here, the most direct thing to do that is that the most direct action that the Taiwanese government has taken against China is banning select Chinese media platforms such as iQIYI, Baidu's video platform, and Tencent Video from the Taiwanese market. Talking about the F-16 fighters incident, according to Republic of China Air Force, the F-16 fighters reportedly dropped 7,000 feet within 20 seconds, which could be the result of spatial disorientation rather than a mechanical failure. At the same time, we know Chinese fighter once again intro Taiwan's ADIZ today. A PLA fighter intro Taiwan's ADIZ in the southwest area at 7 a.m. today. Republic of China Air Force broadcast radio warning and drove the PLA fighters at 7:49 a.m. After U.S. presidential election, Donald Trump called Georgia recount a joke. Georgia Secretary of State says Biden is likely to maintain lead after recount. Then Biden tweeted that, and we're talking about Trump tweeted that, and he said, the Georgia recount is a joke and it's being done under protest. Governor must open up the unconstitutional consent decree and call in the legislature. Also, Trump campaigned 6 recount of ballots in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Dane counties. According to the Wisconsin Elections Commission, Trump campaign paid a state like around $3 million and filed a petition for the partial recount on Wednesday. The recounts in Milwaukee and Dane counties will begin on Friday and must be done by December 1st. That will be the view for today. And this is Catherine. I hope you have a nice night. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.